doing, Rox? How's it going?
God, you know, I'm hanging in there, I think. Like,
I can't believe you survived. I thought out of everyone, you would be the person to like lose your mind in this quarantine.
And who says I haven't?
Yes, that's true.
You just don't see it all the time.
I know. You always look very put together when I see you. You do.
It's all a front. It's all a front. But yeah, it's crazy. I know we're still in this quarantine, you know, kind of a little bit like 1 foot out, but 1 foot still totally planted in, you know, it's
peeking
like
our head out like a little hemorrhoid. Like, I'm here. No, maybe not.
Oh, the joys of the bum.
Yeah. Talking about bum and hemorrhoids. No, that was a weird introduction. I have someone, if you don't know her, then you living under a rock, called Chelcie Lynn. My husband has been following her for quite a while, and he got me onto her like a couple months ago, and I am so obsessed. Her comedy is very authentic, very out there, very honest. She started in Vine, if I'm correct, and then came over to YouTube and then to Instagram, and she is blowing up. She now has tours going on. If you don't know her, you need to be on your social media right now, because in about 3 months' time, we wouldn't have been able to get her.
I know. My God. She's like a social media superstar.
Exactly. She is. And if you want to laugh about things that, you know, aren't PC like this show, then
it's a perfect tie-in.
Then check her out. So welcome, Chelcie.
Yay, Chelcie.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I was just saying before that, you know, I was in Oklahoma for like 3 months. So I feel like that area I'm a little more understanding of, and that's where you're from.
Yeah. And I was actually back a couple weeks ago, and I kind of vlogged where I grew up, and people hadn't seen that yet. And a lot of people were like, oh, okay, we get it now. You know? I'm in Southern California now. So people, you know, they think, I thought we were from the South. I'm like, I am. I just moved here 7 years ago. So,
you know what, though? It's hard to let go of the Southern roots, though, because I'm from Texas. I'm from Dallas. And it's like, right, a Southern girl's in the house. It's hard to like let go of all the Southern, like the things you've been brought up with. So what is something you miss the most about the South?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, for me, I graduated with 12 people.
Okay. Oh my gosh.
No stoplights in our town. So for me, when I go back and there's no traffic and it's quiet, I'm like, oh my gosh, I miss that. You know?
Yeah.
And I think about that out here. It's so that's probably number one for me. Yeah. Just the quietness and the calmness.
Yeah.
Did you guys have frozen custard there too? Because in Missouri, my husband's from Missouri, and they talk about frozen custard. You did talk about pizza pockets, though, and it reminded me of my childhood, because I'm from Australia. The pizza pockets are universal, Jesse. You can get them from anywhere.
Well, one thing you probably do miss is Whataburger.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. That's always my first stop, Whataburger, and then I get some good barbecue.
Oh my God. Have to. But do you have good Mexican food in Oklahoma? We have great Mexican food in Texas.
Okay. I used to live in Dallas. I'm from where Thackerville, Oklahoma is. That's where I'm from.
I love it.
So when I first moved to California, I hated the Mexican food because I was used to Tex-Mex.
Yeah. Tex-Mex is the real deal.
Yeah. And so it took a while to get used to. So yeah, when I go home, I go on an eating tour.
Totally. So do I.
I got to have my margaritas, my Tex-Mex, barbecue, Whataburger, late night. Love.
On one of your blogs, you said you grew up in a trailer. Is that true?
Oh, yeah.
So that's so that was your home?
Oh, yeah. And not like a nice new double wide trailer. Like those people had money, you know, like I grew up in a trailer house, like holes in the floor, like poverty stricken trailer house. Yeah.
Wow.
That's where I grew up. Mm-hmm.
Wow. So how did you know that you wanted to be a comedian? Like growing up sort of there, was that sort of like fuel for like what you wanted to do?
You know, it's so weird to explain it. Growing up, I always wanted to be on SNL. You know, that was like I want to be on SNL. But I never thought that it could happen to me, number one, that it would happen. And I never read my mind to do it. I never was like, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to, end up doing shows and having like, that was never, everything that's happened to me has almost happened by lucky accident. Oh, and I just keep rolling with it along the way. If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So those little sketches and those little improv pieces that you put on your social, was that just born out of having a good time and enjoying comedy, and then it exploded? And then isn't that such a lesson to all the people who are trying to be something and are trying to give their audience what they want? But for you, it was just authentic. It was just like, well, this is what I do. This is who I am. This is what's funny to me and my friends. And then other people related and found that funny too.
100%. So when I first did my first video, I had 2 followers. Okay.
Oh my God.
Wow.
And my sister.
There's hope. There's hope for TikTok for me. There's hope.
And I just did we just did a couple funny videos, and they kind of took off, and then slowly but surely I just started gaining followers, and I was like, whoa, this is weird. I just kept doing what I do, and I've just been riding the wave, dude. It's been crazy.
Yeah. So what about like your family? Because I know for me growing up in Texas, I have a lot of conservative people in my family, and even doing this podcast where we talk about everything. They do not listen because they're just like, it's just like, there's whatever their thing. But for you with your comedy, like, do you have that sort of conservative like background in your family? Like, was everybody very accepting right away, or how did that whole thing pan out?
Well, I had my grandmother raised me.
Okay.
She's passed away. I don't have a relationship with my father. So the only like family I would say I have are my sisters who live with me in San Diego. Mm-hmm. And then I've got my aunt and my uncle back home in Oklahoma. So my aunt's very conservative. So, and my material is not.
It's not.
Yes, there's a big penis in one of your videos that I've watched over and over and over again.
That's I like the gender reveal one too.
Yes. We're trying to think another good one. But the first few years, so I've been doing this 6 years. I would say the first 4 years, she gave me shit. Mm-hmm. That's inappropriate. You need to take that off the internet, blah, blah, blah. But when I started making money, like she bringing her friends to the show, she sharing it. Oh yeah, she took a turn on that one for sure. But yeah, I dealt with that for a while. That whole conservative stuff. Mm-hmm. So yeah.
Do you ever feel like is anything too far for you? Mm-hmm. Or do you feel like
you have now purported yourself to be, this is me authentically, so then I can kind of go anywhere? Because it's such a luxury to have, especially these days, to be able to just put out the content that you feel like is your true self, because you're always thinking about, how do I have to censor this? How do I have to censor that? Yeah. Do you ever feel like you have gone too far?
Oh, no. I don't
just like, no.
No.
Love it.
I don't feel like I've gone too far. I feel like there's some things that I'd rather keep out. I'd rather, like to keep out.
Like what? Are there certain topics or subjects or?
Probably just getting political.
Okay.
Yeah.
And for multiple reasons, not because I'm like, I'm scared of the backlash or people. I don't give a shit. For me, I just want to make people. I just want to take their minds off serious issues. Mm-hmm. That's really all it is for me. But as long as I don't have to get serious, nothing's off limits.
Well, that's especially at this time, people have, come to you and love your entertainment because it is like an escape. But has anyone ever tried to censor you?
No one in particular. I would say my earlier stuff, the first couple of years are much raunchier. Than the stuff now.
Oh, they're raunchier? I need to go back to that.
Damn it, you need that.
It's all we're about, Chelcie.
Yes.
As far as we can go.
I feel like my stuff now is PG compared to what it used to be.
Right.
TikTok takes down half of what I post.
Really?
Wow.
Oh my God. Facebook won't let me monetize 90% of my stuff. So it's like, I could be making a lot more money than I am, but I don't want to change my material. So it's kind of like, I'm just going to, make what I can and do what I can and kind of keep true to myself. And, does that make sense? Like,
yeah. Can I ask a question? Why were you looking at a man's butthole in your picture? You don't know the picture? I sent it to you. Don't even.
Oh no, it's a girl's butthole. It's a girl's butthole.
No, it's
yes,
not.
it's the girl. It's
you said something about why am I looking? Your friends let you look at their buttholes. Is it a girl?
It's a girl, I think, right?
It was a girl? Now she remembers.
I can
She's
pull
like, this is just an average. She's like, this is an average day in my life. What do you mean? I look at people's buttholes all day, every day.
Yeah.
Which butthole?
Okay. Here it is. It's coming up. Here it is.
Okay.
Do you see?
Oh, okay.
I think it's a
That's what my best friend Paige.
Oh, Paige. Sorry, Paige. I didn't look at your face.
So she sells merch, and she wanted a close up of her butthole.
Why?
It actually sold very well.
Did it? I love it. Was it like on T-shirts and everything?
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
The whole T-shirt was the whole butthole. It wasn't like just right here or whatever. It was like the whole.
Oh my gosh!
Oh my God, I love
Why did it sell? It's probably pervy people.
Her audience, dude. That's
Is it?
They would buy a butthole T-shirt.
It must have been one finely groomed butthole. I mean, that's to sell that many.
Exactly.
That's a beautiful butthole. Mine would not sell very many. I think maybe two.
Post baby buttholes are not as pretty, I think.
No, there's things that push on your butthole for way too many months. I'm not as obsessed with that area now that I've had a kid. I'm like,
yeah, but that she asked me to take a picture of her butthole, and then her boyfriend. We didn't know her boyfriend was taking pictures of us taking pictures of her butthole at the door.
You guys must be really close. I mean, Roxy, would you let me do that?
I don't know. I was just thinking about that. I'm like, would I do that? I guess for the right amount of money.
Yeah.
How about you? Would you do it? Would you do it for me?
No, not for you. But I would let my husband take a picture and then delete it, probably.
Yeah, just to look at it. It looks like
Yeah. Make sure it's all good. Oh my gosh. Well, so who is because your comedy? It's so funny. Who is your comedy hero? Like, who did you always look up to?
Oh gosh, for me, probably late '90s, early 2000s SNL cast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like who? Like specifically, like the whole cast.
Chris Farley, Molly Shannon, Chris Kattan, David Spade. I'm obsessed with David Spade. Just that whole crew. Honestly.
The magic. Yeah, it was like Chris Rock, all those guys, right? Like,
yes,
Magic.
Adam Sandler, yeah. For real.
Yes. Oh my God, so
funny. Do you think you would change if that started to become your life? Just say, you're doing SNL, like just say you get invited and you're doing, some of your material, and all of a sudden, your fame really does explode. Like how do you think that would affect you?
Mm-hmm.
Me personally, or my comedy?
No, you.
Yeah.
I think about it all the time, honestly, and it terrifies me. It terrifies me. Fame scares me. Money scares me, because I'm such a happy and
carefree sort of.
Yeah, and I'm very just happy with my life as is.
Mm-hmm.
So to think about big changes like that just scares me.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just I think about that daily, actually. That's crazy you asked. That's like my number one anxiety about my whole career is like, I almost don't want to get any more famous than I am.
Yeah.
For that reason.
Because people probably recognize you now, right?
Oh yeah. And it's great. It's not like it's annoying or anything. But yeah, I think about that all the time, and me and my husband talk about it all the time. And it's like, I don't know. I would hope I would just be as humble as possible. And I don't know.
Roxy and I have the opposite. Roxy and I are like, we have anxiety because we're not
famous.
We need to hang out with Chelcie.
Give me so much fame and money. I'd be so happy.
Just like roll around in it.
My money will love me. My fame will give me hugs at night. It'll make me feel good and pretty.
No, I know. It's funny because, I started acting when I was 15 and it was on a show. I'm sure the audience is sick of hearing this, but it was on a show called Home and Away. And there was a lot of recognition quite early at 15 years old. And it fucked me up. It really fucked me up because I don't think I ever really just got to be, and I was always worried about everyone else's opinions. And a lot of those opinions sometimes were bathed in hate and ridicule. And, I never really woke up and felt good enough or pretty or whatever because everyone was telling me who I was and what box I should be in. So, and that's such an informative years of your life.
For a girl, especially
you're supposed to fuck up. Yeah. And you're supposed to be like awkward and weird and like find your voice. It's taken me 20 years to go, what is my voice? So I think you're in a great position because if and when, and it will come to you, I think you're more solid in who you are at this point in your life, especially with your husband and your comedy, that I think you'll navigate it probably much more gracefully, I think, than I did.
Yeah.
Oh, man, thank you.
You've had life experience,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
What does your husband sort of think about all this? Like, is he like, how does he like to share the spotlight with you? Is he like,
oh, he loves it. He loves it. Yeah. He's so he's an engineer.
okay.
So he's got a full-time job, and he at first, I would say the first year or two, he just thought it was silly. Like I'd ask him to film videos or whatever, and he's like, "Oh my gosh!" Like he didn't. He's not on social media, so he has no clue. He still doesn't have any social media. Yeah.
Oh wow.
But once I was able to quit my 9-to-5 almost 3 years ago. And so he was very supportive of that. I wasn't making hardly any money at the time. And we had just moved to San Diego, which is triple, the price
the cost.
of Texas. And I just told him, I was like, I have this feeling like I woke up literally one morning and said, I'm going to put in my 2 weeks today. And I was scared to tell him. I literally figured he'd be like, no, let's wait, and he was like, do it. Go for it. Let's do it. Do it.
Wow.
Like, are you sure? I almost wanted him to say like,
No, yeah.
He goes, go do it. I was like, oh my God. And I did. And literally since that day, it's nothing but grown, everything. So it's crazy.
What do you do during the day? Does that mean that you create content like all day? Is that the schedule?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't have a schedule on content. I know a lot of people do. Sometimes I'll go 2-3 weeks without posting a new,
Oh, wow.
That makes us feel so good, right, Roxy? We're like, you can do that? You can do that?
Our hiatuses aren't that bad then.
No, I went 6 months once without posting a new video because I couldn't write anything. Like, but no, I'm actually busy all damn day. I feel like I work more than I did working a 9-to-5, but it's not work. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And it's for you. It's for you. Yeah.
No, my merch, me and one other girl run my merch, and that's a full-time job.
Oh, wow.
That's my biggest source of income is merch.
Mm-hmm.
We need that nude bikini. We need your nude bikini.
We need the butthole bikini. We need the butthole one.
Me and Paige were just talking about nipple t-shirts. Actual pictures of our nipples. And hers will be up here because she has perky ones, and mine way down here by both. So we'll see how that goes.
Oh my God. And now you have like huge fans like Whitney Cummings and all these great big. I mean, is that like a trip?
For me, oh my gosh. I was invited to Luke Bryan and his wife. They have a charity event every year, and she called me, she invited me. So I went, ended up becoming friends with her. Mm-hmm. But while I was there, Kid Rock came up to me and asked me for a picture. And that's when I was like,
what?
What is my life, dude? Holy crap. For me, it was like when famous people started that's when I was like, this has gotten out of control.
There's so many lessons though in your story, because I do think, especially in this social media vortex, people are trying to create content to please other people. So hopefully they will monetize based on what they think that their followers want. And I feel like people see through that. And that's why people don't make as much money and they don't grow as rapidly as they want to, because they're not putting out the content that speaks to them. They're putting out content to fulfill another beast. And that is such a lesson. Like, yeah, I know even in our household, I'm like, I don't want to post that. Even though I really feel like it's me, I just don't want to like, piss off maybe, the 5% who follow me. But it's like, you're right. You just have to create the things that make you laugh or whatever it is, and put that out there. And it's a platform for other people to see your work.
I literally couldn't have said that better. Like I get DMs constantly of people like, how do I get started? How did you get in so many followers? And I'm like, I don't know. You can't go into it thinking that. You can't go into it thinking my goal is 1 million followers. My goal, you know what I mean? You just gotta just be you, have fun, put out the content. And in terms of like you saying, like put out stuff that you want, my merch, I designed for me. I designed what I think I want to wear, and I wear my merch all the time. And, I've had friends who have quadruple the amount of followers that I have, and they can't sell 5 t-shirts.
Wow.
And for me, it's like, I don't have as many followers as them. And I'm, like we do 6 figures a month in t-shirts.
Oh my God.
Amazing.
I put out, that's not what I make. That's a gross stuff still. Like, I put out what I want to wear. Like, and the people who you've built relationships with over the years, they'll stick with you, man. If you just put out, like if you put out sincere shit.
Yeah.
Not fake shit. You know what I mean? Like you nailed that.
Yeah. So it's like, talking about yourself, oftentimes, we've talked to other comedians and things who have been on, and a lot of times their comedy actually comes from like a sort of deep sort of pain and hurt, like in their childhood or growing up. Is that true for you too? Can you where does that, come from?
Yeah. So I wouldn't say my online stuff does, but definitely stand up. That's kind of where, yeah. Stand up. So I just I tell a lot of stories from, adulthood and childhood. That's kind of what I do on stage. I just tell stories with little jokes here and there, but definitely, I would say my childhood has a lot to do with the material I do on stage. Yeah. That's very true.
Oh, wow.
Was it a happy childhood or was it, there's a lot of people around that area that I know and have had a lot of ups and downs within how they grew up.
Yeah. I'm such a glass half full person that I look back and I would say, if you were to ask me, initially my mind would think, yeah, I had a great childhood, had a happy childhood. But then I think about it, I'm like, ooh, I kind of didn't. I just looked at I'm looking, you know what I mean? Like both my parents had us young. I think they were 17 when they had me, or my whole life. Dad used to beat my mom. We got taken away when I was 12. They would I could go on about the shit. I mean, it was just not and I remember being a kid and being like, man, I just want a normal life. Right. Yeah. I remember being 7, 8 years old. And literally I remember where I was and looking around and thinking, I will not have this life when I grow up. I will not. At 7 and 8 years old. And so I'm a firm believer in, like, for the most part, you create the life that you want to live. The life that, if you're not happy with the life you're living, do something, change it. So technically, if we're being technical, no, I didn't have a good childhood, but it could have been worse. That's the way I look at it. It could have been worse.
So what do you think propelled you? What made you say, like, this is going to be different for me? Like, I'm going to go out there and like chase my dreams. Like, what would you say? And especially to other kids that might have been like in a similar situation, that feel very hopeless or what have you. Like, what kind of made you take that leap?
Man, I don't even know. That's hard to answer. I remember literally just things going on around me as a kid, and thinking, I just got to make it through this. And when I have control over my own life, it'll be different.
Do you feel like you got lucky and so many people didn't? Like, life is all about preparedness, opportunity meets luck. So maybe you were prepared.
Timing was good.
The timing was good. But then there's a level of some of this that's just, you just have that, some angel is on your back and you just get lucky.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. Me and my sisters talk all the time. With the way we were brought up, we should be living totally different lives right now. Like we should have fallen into the pattern of what was going on. And somehow, I don't know, we didn't. So I agree with that 100%.
Are you close with your sisters?
Oh, yeah, they live with me.
Oh, nice.
Do you check their buttholes?
Yeah. Sisterly love.
Yeah. And my nieces, we're super close. So me and Greg, my husband, moved out to San Diego 7 years ago, and they followed real quick.
Oh, nice.
Within 2 years, they were all moved out here. It's weird for us being apart. So,
yeah.
Do you ever feel, I don't know about Roxy's early childhood, but like I was bullied a lot and felt really insecure and I think I still do. Like I even had a day yesterday where I was just like to my husband, I just feel insecure. Just love me. Do you ever wake up and just go, oh, I'm just not good enough? Or, I just don't like myself. Or do you think your glass half full attitude, you always think about the positive and you retrain your brain?
I would say the latter. I really rarely ever feel, I've trained my brain really well to really think highly of myself without being, too, you know what I mean? Like, I'm a bigger chick. You see the stuff I post on Instagram. I don't give a shit. Like, I feel good, man. You know what I mean? Like, I feel good. And I don't know if it has anything to do with my childhood, but I grew up, I went to such a small school that there really wasn't any bullying. And that could have played a really lucky part in that. I can't think of, nobody, but we all, 12 people. So, I don't struggle with that. For me, it's been a mindset for
That's
sure.
So sexy.
Yeah.
I could wake up and pick apart, everything. But for me, I've truly trained that part where it almost no longer exists. Douchey almost, like, but it's true. And people ask me all the time, like, how'd you just post that picture that you posted with your belly hanging out? I could never do that. And I'm like, what's wrong with it? Why is it, why am I going to let that ruin my day? You know what I mean? Like, I've really trained that's the advice I give people.
That's why you get laid a lot from your husband, because I'm sure it's very sexy.
Oh, yeah.
He's like,
yeah, newlywed times over there, huh? That's fun. So have you ever put anything out that you wished you hadn't, or like wanted to retract at any point, or no?
No. There's been things I've put out where, a few days later or weeks later, I think, oh, I should have added this, or I should have edited this. Little things like that. But in terms of like, oh my God, I shouldn't have put that out. No.
Yeah.
So your ultra ego trailer trash Tammy, which I love, by the way, is that a character you've done for a long time? And is that like your main, is that your main character?
Yeah.
Yeah. So trailer trash Tammy is actually who I do on stage as stand-up. Way easier for me to do it as her.
Right.
Now, the things I write are stories from me and my life, but they're just funnier told as Tammy. You know what I mean? So yeah, she's probably the bread and butter of what I do. The first video I did was on Vine when I had 2 followers. I had a Reba shirt, as everyone should.
Gotta have Reba.
I had a Reba shirt. And the very first video I did, do you guys remember that show, American Pickers?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
So we were driving through town and we were passing this trailer house, and I go, pull over. Got out, made my sister film just randomly. And I said, I put my hair, Tammy's got the slick back hair.
Yeah.
And I said, the American Pickers guys are coming to look at some shit I got out back. After that, me and the fat one are probably going to fuck. And it just took off. And then I thought, maybe I should she always wore a Reba shirt, always had her hair slicked back. And then after a couple months, I go, maybe I should give her a name, make it a character. And that's kind of how she came
That's
about.
my name, Tammy.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
That's my name. That's what I got called my whole school. So I was like, oh my God.
It could also be your ego too.
So that was your first video of her and it went gangbusters. And then you were like, this is something that could be more than just this video.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It didn't go viral or anything. I think I gained 1,000 followers from it. But for me at that time, that was I remember when we hit 1,000 followers, me and my sister started screaming. I was like, 1,000 followers,
Yeah.
And for me, it was a slow process. Mine has been very slow. For me, the last year, I've doubled what the last 6 years have been in terms of everything.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Because now you've got tours on the horizon that are supposed to happen and you've got all these celebrity fans. I mean, how is the whole COVID thing too, the quarantine, sort of derailed things for you, both personally and career wise?
Yeah. I think it's done that for everybody, Right. I had so much planned this year. And here's the way I was talking to my husband the other day. Here's the way I look at it. Was supposed to go on tour. Was supposed to do a Burger King commercial that got canceled.
Oh,
there's been some Netflix stuff that got pushed back. It's been at the beginning of the year, I literally was thinking, holy crap, this is going to be the biggest year yet.
2020, right? Yeah.
Yeah. And everything's gotten canceled. And for me, it's I'm not even bummed about it. I'm it wasn't the time. It wasn't the time.
That's such a positive outlook. That's great. It would be very hard to be super bummed about it and just be oh my God, this is never going to happen. But that's really amazing.
Yeah. I just think it's not the time. When the time comes, that's my time.
Yeah.
So
why do you think you've exploded within the last year? Like you said that everything doubled within the last year with the 6, and you've been working consistently at your stand-up and your socials and your videos you're putting out for 6 years, and all of a sudden, bang. What was the turning point? Do you remember where you were like, it feels different right now?
Well, I haven't done anything different. So for me, I'm I don't know why, is my algorithm bumped up? I don't know. I haven't done anything different. Well, I will say this. My YouTube, I started posting more to YouTube.
Okay.
And for me, when I posted more consistently, that's when I kind of started gaining more on YouTube. So I would say, honestly, I would say that. I know that's kind of a boring answer, but yeah, because used to I would only post. I mean, I kind of didn't care about YouTube. I'd post once a month, whatever. And then I thought, let me really give this a go. And so I started posting a lot, and it just kind of took off.
So how do you keep yourself from being mentally being oh, how many likes am I getting? Am I feeling popular? How do you sort of
You're not supposed to do that?
Yeah, I know. Tammin and I do that on the regular.
Refresh. I'm what the fuck is it only 90,000 views? It's supposed to be 150,000 views.
We're nobody likes us.
And the worst, I couldn't tell you how many likes.
See, that's why. That is why you're successful. That is what I'm saying.
Yes.
Such a lesson. That is why you're doing so well.
Yes.
You don't give a fuck.
You don't give any fucks. That's
so
the
great.
point.
0 fucks.
I really don't.
That's why.
Yeah.
Well, so a lot of people I do collabs with and a lot of social media people I know.
Right.
I mean, I know people that are constantly they know every view they get. They know what gets the most views. They know what. And I'm I couldn't tell you what my most viewed thing is on YouTube. I don't even go to my YouTube studio to look at my analytics. I just looked at my analytics on Instagram for the first time maybe 2 months ago. I just don't, once it's posted, I go and reply to comments, but in terms of like views and likes and stuff, I don't even, my mind doesn't even think about that stuff.
Yeah.
And I've been told.
You do so well. You do, like, the views that you have and the comments that you get. You have such an engaged audience. You're doing far better than so many people with 4 to 5 times the followers as you. And again, there's such a lesson in this. It's like, stop creating for the masses. Like, create for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And for me, me personally, I think I'd rather spend my time replying to the people that are taking out their time to say something nice about the material I put out, rather than looking at numbers and worrying about views and looking at analytics. Like, for me, it's like, it's social media. I want to be social with the people that are following me. Like, I feel so lucky that they spend their time, messaging me or whatever. I want to message them back. Like, for me, and I have said this to everyone I collab with, for me, the number one thing that I do in my job that's the most important is engaging with the followers. To me, it's more important than the material I put out.
Oh. So how do you deal with the haters and the social media haters that come and troll and leave nasty comments and things like that? How do you deal with those people?
I really don't get a whole lot. And I know that's like a lot. I don't know what it is. I don't get a ton of hate. I will probably get, I would say once a month, I'll get a comment, a rude comment or something. And it depends on my day. Sometimes I'll just block. If I'm in the mood, I'll engage in that. But what they're saying is stupid. So I just view it as, I'm like, I don't know.
It only hurts you when you believe it. You know what I mean? And that's the thing. Like, when you realize that people who take their time to say hateful things on social media hate themselves, they must, because when you're in a good place about your life and what you're doing, and you have confidence, you don't spend your time trolling other people to put them down and then still follow them. That's what I find funny. They're still following you, but then they still leave hate messages. It's like, I think it's so obvious that they're obsessed, but they're just mad that you've gotten some kind of other success.
Well, that's like the sign of you making it too, is like when you have the haters, right? I mean, it's like, and they can't let go. It's like, okay, you made it,
That's so true. That's so true.
You talk a lot about sex, or you show a lot of sexual objects, which is like my favorite subject.
Our favorite.
That is kind of, obviously women on top, the bottom of the side.
Or reverse cowgirl.
When you're married, you're just like, can I just lay on my stomach, please? Just starfish and call it a day. But you remember, we talk about this a lot, and we talked about it in the beginning of the show, and I don't think you'd be uncomfortable me asking, because it seems like everything's out there. You remember the first time you had an orgasm?
Oh, okay. I started masturbating real young.
Okay. How old were you?
And okay, when I tell people this, they always assume that I was like sexually abused or something. And I wasn't.
Yeah.
Probably 7 or 8.
Oh my God.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And I used to hump my pillows.
And why? It just was something inside you?
You've never humped a pillow?
Pillows can't get stiff.
I have not humped a pillow.
Okay. Get on that.
But
okay.
I've humped like other things. Pillows are so soft.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe I've humped a pillow. Have you humped a pillow? Right?
Yeah.
I have not. I think I need like maybe more of the friction, but maybe it
a
works.
harder pillow?
Yeah, harder pillow. But maybe it works. Maybe we need to try this.
I don't know what it is. I don't remember everything. I don't know. I just, maybe I'm assuming like, I had a pillow, I was sleeping with the pillow, and it kind of, things,
Yeah, you don't know what it is. You know what I mean? Like, you don't really know what you're doing or what it is. But do you remember like the first time you were with a boy and then you were like, this is, because Roxy and I talk about a long time ago. We talk about the dry hump.
Yeah, bringing it back.
We want to
bring it back.
Yeah, we want to bring it back. Like you don't want to be intimate because you're like, I'm too nervous and young or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
This is my first time. So you just dry hump them. And that to Roxy and I was the first time we kind of, were with guys. But do you remember like your first boyfriend and that whole experience?
I do remember thinking that because I had masturbated for so long that I remember thinking, oh, sex is an orgasm through sex is going to be way different. It's going to feel different. It's going to be, that's what I thought. And when it happened, I was like, I could have done that myself. That was the same thing.
I think, do we still think that, Roxy?
I mean, I need to go back to the drawing board.
Yes. I don't think you masturbate a lot, do you, Roxy?
You know what? For me, it's more like it depends on the time of the month. Like if I'm ovulating, then that's like a sexier. I feel like that's when like the hormones are like raging more.
Right.
Okay.
Right. So I feel like it's more like cyclical for me. Yeah. But I know Tammin masturbates a lot.
No, now we're gonna have to take that part out. No, I think I've just got more testosterone in my body. I just think, I like to be sexual. I think it's, it's funny. We talk so much about the fact that, we see so much violence and we see on the news, people getting battered and hurt. And, in movies, we see people's heads chopped off and guns. But then like you show a nipple or you show a breast or you talk about sex. And it's especially in the US, it's so taboo, like showing Roxy and I have children, like showing your boob when you're breastfeeding is such a big deal.
Yes.
And yet we sexualize women so much that it's just like, I find like the female form should be celebrated.
Yeah.
It's like, why do we celebrate? We do celebrate in a way like anger and violence and being tough and, and I don't know. I just think I think we've taken a wrong turn.
Agree.
Right.
100%. Yep. 100% agree with that.
Yeah. It's interesting, our culture, pop culture and everything.
Have you ever been with a woman?
No, never.
She's just taking pictures of their buttholes, okay?
Just as good as being with one, Roxy.
Yeah. I know. Wait, Tammin, your experience?
No. I mean, sure, I feel like everyone's been with a woman, but have you wanted to, Chelcie?
Here's my deal. I could totally like make out. And I think, you see a beautiful woman, like, oh my God, like I could totally make out, maybe suck on some titties. But when it comes to the vagina,
yeah,
man, I barely even want to touch my own.
Yeah.
That's where I'm like, okay, I don't think I could. I don't think I could.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Well, I take that back. One time I touched one and I started gagging.
Oh my gosh.
That's the only experience. Yeah, I forgot about that. I almost don't look at it as experience because nothing happened. So yeah, I go, let me give this a try. I literally reached down there and I said, I'm sorry, I can't. That's how I know. That's confirmed for me. I was like, but like making out with a chick, I would love that. It's just the vagina.
It's a different beast, than the peenie. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot more. Yeah. It's like boobs up. Cool.
Yeah.
Right. Boobs down.
Not so much.
Big boobs up. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, I love it. That's so funny. But yeah. So what is next for you? I mean, I know we're still like in quarantine and we're, doing that whole thing, but what can we look forward to?
Well, I'm ready to go on tour.
Okay.
I'm like chomping at the bits to do that.
Right.
I've started writing a Trailer Trash Tammy movie.
Okay.
Wow.
Who knows,
It's going to get picked up. You're blowing up. There's no way it's not going to.
Yeah.
I like to put things out in the universe because I don't think I ever would have started stand-up if I wouldn't have told Instagram I'm going to start stand-up.
Okay.
It's almost like I get held accountable for it. So I'm writing a movie. I'd love to get it filmed. And, even if I just put it on YouTube, even if that's how it ends up, I'm fine with that. I'm happy with that.
And you land another bazillion followers after that.
To write a movie, do you feel like you need to learn about the structure of a script, or do you feel like by seeing so many films, kind of how a storyline would go?
I feel like I have felt weird about not knowing how to structure the script, which is why I have a friend helping me who's a writer. He's an actor in LA and he writes. And so he's the one that's like helping me. We just started like literally last week. So he's helping me kind of with that side.
Ah, nice. Oh, I'm excited. Who would you see? Like, I mean, obviously you would be playing Tammy, but do you see other people, other celebrities coming into the fold?
You know, I honestly, like, I haven't thought about that. I've thought about like having like my sisters and the people I do videos with, like all my friends, like I feel like would be in the movie. Yeah, 100%. Maybe we'll get some random, you know, celebrity up in there. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
That'd be really fun. Yeah.
That'd be really fun.
We normally do a Never Have I Ever, and I can't wait to hear these stories if you'd like to do it. But before we do the Never Have I Ever, I have to ask this one video, the background around it, because I keep watching it. Okay, so the video where you come out and you get a penis as a gift, and then
the sperm flies out,
and then your friend jumps out of it. What was the genesis of that video? How did you first conceive it? Was somebody else had the idea? Then did it get more and more and more and more? And then where did you find the prop?
Okay. That I'll give all credit to Ross Smith.
Okay.
Who does videos with his grandma, you know, the guy who does videos with his grandma. Usually the Tammy stuff, 90% of the time I write because a lot of people can't write for her. He came to me with this idea. He goes, "Hey, I have this idea. You're probably going to think it's totally stupid. Here it is." He told me, and I go, "That's the best thing I've ever heard of in my life." He lives in Ohio. He goes, "I can be out there tomorrow." And I was like, "Okay." Flew out here just to film that. Found some guy who works for Disneyland and Legoland, and he like builds. I don't know how he found him, dude. And he made that penis in less than 24 hours.
Oh my God.
It was so big. That's what she said. It was so massive. It was like monumental.
Yeah.
I don't know how you would turn that around in 24 hours.
I have no clue. He did though. That's the thing. When he got there and he was unloading stuff, I was like, you did this so quick. He's like, "Oh, I haven't had much work." Okay.
Yeah.
And did you get to keep the cock?
Yes.
Oh my God. Amazing.
Amazing.
Ross gave it to me. He's like, "Do you want it?" I was like, "Yeah."
So the little man that sat in there, was there like a little ledge for him? Like how did he not fall?
We put the penis over a ladder. So we had two little people, and both of them were, and it was tight. Oh my God, it was so tight in there. I don't know how they did. We struggled. That video is what, less than a minute. That took us 6 hours to film, maybe.
Wow.
Yeah, it was to get. And Ross is a perfectionist. Like, it probably would have taken me an hour. Ross is a perfectionist, so we had to keep reading. I'm like, "Oh my Lord!" But I do like one take. One take. If it's mediocre, it's good enough for me.
Then aren't you mad if it doesn't do well and you spent 6 hours plus got a prop guy plus got people on ladders and you've then that's the thing that is amazing is you're not sitting there going refresh. How many people are watching? How many people are watching? Because what if only 10 people said, "Oh, this is so funny"? Are you like, "Damn it, I spend so much time for 10 people," or does it not matter?
To me, it doesn't matter. Now, okay, so I don't spend that much time on videos. That's Ross. For me, I do one take, literally one take. My edit, I don't know how to edit a video. I literally piece together pieces. So it's like the most basic edit you can get.
Yeah.
And no, that's why I don't spend a whole lot of time. In my opinion, the creative, the writing, the jokes, like that's what's it's not really how you film it, how you edit it. That's why I don't spend a whole lot of time on that at all.
Oh, that's the secret. That's it. Secret sauce. Yeah.
Okay, wait, before I go, what's the funniest video you've done? Like your favorite?
Yeah. What's your favorite?
Dude, I get asked this all the time and I can't choose. So many. I've got like 5 or 10 rolling through my head right now. I did one with Ross Smith where we went out to the wilderness, and it was like trying to survive the wilderness for 24 hours. I'm proud of that one. That was all improv, and
oh wow,
I rewatch it every once in a while and lose my shit.
Yeah.
So that would be the first.
Yeah, off the top of my head, that one. Yeah, let's do that. I like them all though. Yeah.
They're like your kids. They're like your kids. You got to love them all, right?
Exactly.
I love the one that's the nicest. So I love my video that does the best. Depends who's doing the best at the time. I'm like, that's my favorite. That's my favorite.
That's a good one. Well, should we play Never Have I Ever? Oh, okay.
Oh.
Since you are an anatomical photographer, Chelcie, never have I ever taken photos of my husband's butthole or penis.
So do I say if I have or if I haven't?
Yeah. Either I have or never have. Oh, you have?
Yeah.
For what?
Did you hang on to him?
I don't know if you want to know. I'm dead serious.
Tell us. You have to tell us.
We want to know. You can say anything on this show.
Yes.
We want to know.
Yes.
No, this is disgusting. I'm just warning everybody. This was years ago, and I think this is the only time I've ever taken pictures of his butthole.
Oh my God. He's okay with you telling the story, I hope.
So we're in the bedroom. He was getting dressed for work or whatever, whatever. And like he was completely naked, and I saw him like bend over to grab something, and I was like,
Ooh.
"Did you wipe your ass?"
Oh.
And he's like, "What are you talking about?" I go, "There's like green. It was green." I go, "There's like green shit like around."
Oh my gosh.
He was like, "No, there's not. I just took a shower." I go, "Come here."
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Oh, mad that I told that. I was like, "Bend over, spread them." So I literally, and then I showed him, and he was like, "Oh my God," and got back in the shower.
Oh my gosh. But did you delete the picture?
Yeah, did you hang on to it?
So fast. So fast.
So you know it sits in your deleted box for quite a while, right?
I know. This was probably 8 years ago. So
Okay, before the cloud and everything. Okay.
Okay. Never have I ever, because you like to cook, I saw on your Instagram. Never have I ever put food on my husband as like some sexual thing to do.
Never.
Ooh.
Never.
No.
No, I don't think I ever put it on me either.
No.
Have you, Roxy?
So.
No, but I will say, actually, this is kind of a funny story. My bachelorette party was in Vegas. And as Tama knows, I am deathly allergic to dairy.
So she says, but her husband gives her dairy.
So we had these strippers come to the room that my girlfriends got. These two guys, they were the guy strippers. And they had this game called like lick the whipped cream off. Long story short of it, I didn't have to do it, but I totally rat fucked all my girlfriends. I was putting like the whipped cream on their weenies and like on their bib. Like, so they were just like, "Oh, Roxy." But that's the closest I think.
It's funny because you go to those like hustler stores and they're like,
oh yeah, chocolate panties.
chocolate, for sexual pleasure. And then you put it on, you're like, ow, that itches. Ow, it's stinging me. Oh my gosh, now I can't get it off. It's sticky. It's stuck to the sheets. It's so, or those like edible undies or something. The whole time we're just like trying to bite candy and nothing's happening. I know. No.
Never been into that.
Right? Oh gosh. Okay. Never have I ever used my status or said something like, "Do you know who I am?" to get out of a ticket, like a pulling over.
Never.
Never. How about to get into a restaurant?
No.
No. Okay.
No.
Okay.
But I did get pulled over a couple months ago for running a red light. And the guy pulled me over, walked up to the car, and he goes, "Oh my God, I know who you are. Have a good day." And I was like, "What?"
Dude, luck is always on your side.
I was like, "Wow, thanks." Yeah. No, I never have. But sometimes I'll go to eat and I'll go to like pay, and like the waitress is like, "Oh no, it's on us. We love the videos." And I'm like, "No. I don't like that." I'm like, "No. let me pay. And they're like, no. So I usually like tip really big. I'm like, thank you. Like, like I'll pay you what so, but no, I don't think I could ever do that.
Yeah. Isn't it funny that when you start to make good money is when people make you pay less for things?
Yes.
I know. I'm like, now I can pay for it. I couldn't pay for it back then. Could you give me a break then?
Mm-hmm. And giving you free shit? Oh my gosh.
Oh my God. So what's like the best free shit you've gotten? Like what's like the best things that you've been sent?
Well, the other day I went to this little shop in Oceanside and I forgot what it was called. They have like, oh my God, it was like the coolest store, like a bunch of like CBD and like bath product, just a bunch of like, I was in there for like an hour. So I posted that I was in there. I found the cutest little shop and I tagged them. And then they messaged me, and they didn't have a ton of followers. They messaged me that day, and the owner goes, "Thanks for stopping in. Thanks for tagging us. We're gonna send you a gift box, and it's a bunch of weed." And I was like, "That's great." Thank you.
That's like a good drug deal, right there.
Yeah, and very legal.
Yeah, exactly.
Never have I ever smoking so much weed that I've done something just really out of the ordinary for me.
Yeah, I have.
What? And what did you do?
You know what? Maybe not. Oh God, I can't think of anything one in particular, but I can't smoke weed anymore.
Really? Why?
Roxy's like, why not?
I know. I'm like, why not?
Yes, please, why?
I used to love it. See, the first time I smoked weed, I was probably 28.
Oh, so you didn't start till later.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And then loved it for like 2 years. Did it maybe not a ton, maybe once or twice a month. Loved it. And then all of a sudden, about 2 years ago, woke up, started getting so paranoid. Like I'm talking like fear that I was going to be murdered, like whoever's in the house.
Oh,
like debilitating fear. And it happened with anything I smoked, any strain, no matter what it was. People keep saying, "Oh, well, you haven't tried this," or no, I've tried it all. Like I just started getting super paranoid. So now I only do CBD. Because I like the smell and I like the feeling of smoking a joint. So I do the CBD joints now. But there's been a few times where I got so stoned, I would just walk around and do like the dumbest shit, like a picture on the wall, or you know what I mean? Like you're not completely like yourself. Yeah.
Before I let you go, or we let you go, because this has been amazing, I just had this thought to ask you: do you want to have kids?
I go back and forth.
Yeah.
Ooh,
go back and forth. Let's just put it this way. If I thought that my husband would be a mediocre dad, like how a lot of dudes are, I feel like I wouldn't. But I knew that if we were to have a kid, he would be the type that I would never have to get up in the middle of the night. I would never have to change a diaper. He would make homemade baby food. He would he would be the Martha Stewart dad. You know what I mean? That's the only thing. Yeah.
Do it. I mean, it's hard though. It's hard because I came from actually the side that we had planned on not having kids, and we had a child, and I mean, we're obsessed, amazing, but it's an interesting like struggle, that you go through, right? Like, so you've been on kind of both sides of the fence a little bit.
And he's the same way. I feel like if he was like, I really want a kid, we would. But he's kind of the same way I am. We're just like, if it happens, it happens.
So you're not trying, or are you on birth control? So you're not on birth control.
Yeah,
you are on birth control. Okay, so you're not really trying.
But I feel like my career is just taking off. I'd like to see how the next few years go. We go back and forth. I don't know. My nieces live with us. We help raise them. They're 7 and 10. I don't know. I keep saying, let's wait 5 years and see where we're at. And then 5 years comes and I'm like, let's wait another 5 years. So I don't know. Maybe we'll see. Yeah.
It's hard because, you wait those 5 years and, the doctor said to me, I've got 2, but the doctor said to me like, oh, you don't have that many eggs left. So if you want another one, like, people are like, stop having kids. But like, it's either like now or never, you know?
Yeah.
And it's hard because you don't know where you're going to be in 5 years, or if you want to do this again. And, you know, my husband does do half the work. He does half the work. And so we both have jobs, we both have careers, and it's difficult to just put more children in the mix, because also financially you have to make sure.
Think about that. Yeah.
But also emotionally and mentally, like children need you present, you know, and it's hard to be focusing. I mean, look, your career's taking off in such leaps and bounds that maybe ride, look, you don't take my advice, but maybe ride that wave for a bit and then see how you feel. But there's never a right time, right, Roxy?
Yeah, there's never, I think it's, you do it. There's no handbook. I mean, it is sort of the cliche things that people say, like nothing prepares you for having a child. It's true. I mean, it is good to be in like a positive mindset about it. But I mean, really, you don't know what the fuck you're doing, to be honest. You just don't know.
Yeah.
It's just more levels of like, oh, now I still don't know what the fuck I'm doing. It's just like another... Yeah.
It's like winging it. You wing it every fucking day. You're like, okay, so I guess this works.
Didn't die today.
They're still alive. It's great.
I bet, honestly.
Yeah.
No, I've never had that like strong, you know how like a lot of women have that
strong desire, right?
I've never felt that, but I've never felt the opposite either. I've never felt like I don't want kids. I feel like if I were to get pregnant, I'd be happy about it.
Yeah.
But also if I never had kids, I'd be great with that too. That's kind of how I'm mixed. So yeah. I've always been like, we'll see, you know, I may wake up one day and literally be like, okay, I want a kid now. So I'm not going to have one until that happens. I feel like, does that make sense? Like,
yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah. Your career, like
we'll
Cameron
see you
was
next
saying,
year with a baby.
Yeah. You'll have a little one on your shoulder.
Yeah, you'll be like Trailer Park Tammy with my
baby.
Oh, we thank you so much.
Yes, Chelcie, thank you.
And where can we find you?
We love it. We love when you came and hung out with us.
Thank you so much for having me. Nice to meet you guys.
Where can we find you?
Yes,
we have to know.
Chelcie Lynn, across all platforms, and I'm everywhere. Okay, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube. You'll find me.
And if you don't know this lovely lady, then in 6 months, no one is not going to know you. So get ready.
Don't say we didn't tell you.
Stay grounded, stay positive, because shit can get pretty intense.
Yes.
Yeah.
And just keep
being you.
Why am I giving you advice? You know what you're doing. But just put out what you love, and don't let the noise change that. Because once you lose your authenticity, it's just people see through it. And I can't wait to be sitting in my bathtub just watching more of your videos.
Yeah. She is the real deal. She is the real deal, as we say in Texas.
Thank you both so much.
And you can find us on Women on Top Official on Instagram.
And Women on Top Podcast on Facebook. And don't forget to rate, subscribe, and comment on iTunes. So we can keep bringing you all this good stuff.
And I am Tammin Sursock.
And I am Roxy Manning.
And we are
Women
on
Top.